And they had some unexpected news for the jury.
Zach is going to testify because Zach has been waiting for this opportunity to tell a group of people like you what really happened, which is that he took the life of Christina Parcell. And crucially, he's been waiting and wanting to tell you why.
It's what? To be continued the next bullshit, but like, what is he talking about?
So what is murder? Murder is the killing of somebody with malice aforethought. And what is malice? It is the intentional doing of a wrongful act without
pull up
just
for a
cause
dictionary
or
section,
excuse.
gang.
And I want you to think about those words, that definition, as you listen to the testimony that you're about to hear in this.
And define bald spot. Bald spot is when there's nothing there. Not a damn thing, not a follicle growing anywhere in the vicinity of that hair. My bad.
Case. In this case, you were going to hear that the why was not jealousy or greed or a crime of passion or some other emotion. You're going to hear that this was done for a just cause. And that's not malice, and that's not murder.
A just cause? What kind
During
of
Zach's testimony,
arguments?
he admitted to sending out the parcels that implied Christina was an escort. He also described killing Christina in complete, chilling detail.
I laid my bike down in the driveway. I took a bunch of roses, and I walked up to the door, and I rang the doorbell. And I handed her the roses. And I took the revolver out of the box, and I pointed it at her, and I told her to be quiet and to go back into the house. When I went to strike her with the gun, my hand didn't really do what I was trying to tell it to. I was hesitating, and she began to try to fight back. And during this period of time, the roses had dropped, and the petals and stems had scattered. So I...
Why did you bring roses? I guess that was to get in the door.
Pulled out the knife I was wearing. All I could do was try to overcome this resistance I had towards doing this thing. So I just kept striking her and striking her.
Man, what?
I don't remember how many times I struck her. I just remember that when it finished, we were on the ground. And I stopped striking her when she stopped struggling. I looked in a mirror before I left to make sure everything was in order, and I saw that she had scratched my face. And of course I realized that this could leave DNA. So I used the paint thinner to try to clean her hands.
Wouldn't it have been easier to just cut her hands off? Let me stop.
I took off my outer shirt because there was blood on it, and I put it in the backpack. I believe that what I've done is the right thing, and I believe that I did it for the right reason.
Bitch, what? Like, gang, I know I was twisting my ear and shit, and it seemed like I wasn't listening, but bitch, I heard every word. What the f is he talking about? Is he trying to go, bitch? There's no way anyone in the jury is going to believe that you did this justifiably, or it was justified with you doing this. Like, I hope you start to get into the spiel right now, because there's no way. No. Man, hey, I'm talking about if it's a hung jury, any of that. Hold on, first and foremost, why is this about, why did the title say it's about Bruce? It has to be another shoe that's about to drop. Because there's no way this is the end of the video. I mean, it's 7 minutes left. What does Brad have to do with this? What is Brad's secret? Is this a misnomer? Did he write the wrong name? Hold on. Who did the...
Zach's reasoning for committing such a horrific crime stems all the way back to his childhood.
I don't say this lightly, but my oldest sister, Grace, was the most evil human being I've ever met in my life.
That says a lot coming from someone who took someone's life.
I would describe her without reservation as an affectionate psychopath. She was just an incredibly intelligent person and incredibly evil. And having met someone like that, it made me able to understand that people like this exist. If you trust them, you are only ever going to get hurt by them again.
Zach went on to explain that while hanging out with John told him about the custody battle and described the type of person that Christina was.
I don't really think nobody fucking with me anyway, you know what I'm saying? 24 fucking hundred. I come from that fucking block. I been out that Johnny up and up that cutter. If we cannot get...
Welcome back. We back with another reaction video. Today we reacting to a stay away crime and psychology video. Detectives uncover Brad's horrifying secret. Let's see what Brad got going on. Hopefully it ain't Brad Pitt, nigga. That'd be disturbing as hell. At the end of the video, we will be reacting to a Wayne verse from back in the day. Brand new. Not the one with Tiger. The OG one from the drought is over. 4, I believe. Just to show some appreciation for Wayne, even though he did drop the Carter 6, we gonna forget that. And we gonna show some love. Let's get right into it.
Hey man, how did you get in the house?
You got to come home right now. Emergency. Come home. Just come home. When I walked in, there was a smell, like a pesticide smell.
Yep.
And I walked in, and I didn't see anything on. I saw like a flower rose tore up, and then I walked in the living room, and she's laying there on her back. There is a lot of blood.
Okay.
This is 65-year-old Bradley Post. Just minutes earlier, he discovered his fiancée, 41-year-old Christina Parcell, lying on her living room floor in a pool of her own blood. He immediately dialed 911.
Grayson County 911, what's the address of your emergency?
Break Drive. I think I might have a death. Walked in my fiance's house. She wouldn't answer my call. There's a very weird smell, and I can't get her to come around. I told her, if I ever, what should I do?
Is she breathing?
No.
And we're going to start CPR, sir.
Okay, I think she's gone.
You think she's gone?
Yeah. Because somebody might have shot in the back. I don't know.
Like somebody had shot her? Okay.
What?
All right.
I don't know.
And tell me why you think she's dead.
So she won't respond. She
You
got
won't
her eyes
respond?
open.
Eyes are
No.
open? All right.
There was a lot of blood.
And a lot of blood. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go over here now.
I'm sorry. Say it again.
Get somebody here now.
I've got some people coming, sir. I have everybody coming.
Brad then told
Man,
the
that was
dispatcher
immediate.
he was going to hang up the phone to inform Christina's family of the emergency.
What about a CPR?
He called Christina's sister, Tina Parcell, who was also the owner of the house. She was working at the time, so he left her this voicemail.
Tina, this is Brad. You need to call me quick. There's a problem with Christina at the house. Please call me now.
Minutes later, Deputy Chris Robinson from the Greenville County Sheriff's Office arrived at the scene and was met by Brad standing in the driveway. Tina had just returned Brad's call, so he rushed her off the phone to help the officers.
Hey, man. How'd you get in the house?
You got to come home right now. Emergency. Come home. Just come home. She went for a job interview. Okay.
He still
She
answered the
left
question.
and came back. I called her, texted
Today?
her twice. Yeah, just
Okay.
from like 9 o'clock. I
Brother,
got
how'd
her
you
on
get in
a
here?
tracker.
Yeah.
She didn't respond, so I went to the door. No response. So the back door is always unlocked.
Okay.
So I walked around to the back door. When I walked in, there was a smell like a pesticide smell.
In your
Yeah.
window?
And I walked in, and I didn't see anything on. I saw like a flower rose tore
Okay.
up, and then I walked in the living room, and she's laying there on her back. There is a lot of blood.
Okay. Do you live here?
No.
You stay here
I stay-
occasionally?
yeah.
Okay.
I'm with her most days.
All right, do me a favor, just stand right here. You want to help me clear it real quick?
Sure.
Sheriff's office.
The deputies entered through the back door of the residence and immediately noticed the smell of harsh chemicals that Brad was talking about.
I do smell something. All right, you see what we got?
Bleach?
There is a smell in here. All right, you want to hold right, and I'll clear this on the left.
Before checking on Christina, they cleared the house of any threats.
Yes, ma'am, we're clearing the house now. Pushing in. Sheriff's office. Take one, I'll take the other. Sheriff's office.
With no apparent danger inside the house, they headed to the living room to evaluate Christina's condition. She was completely unresponsive. Next to her body, there were roses and rose petals scattered on the floor. But due to the overwhelming stench,
Rose
the
petals?
officers decided to wait for EMS outside before processing the scene any further.
Let's get out of here with that smell. Definitely not a death odor.
Back outside, Brad was just wrapping up another phone call with Tina.
Anyway, I gotta go, Tina. Get home as soon as you can. It's the owner of the house, her sister. Owns it.
Okay.
Is she dead?
As far as I can tell, I'm not EMS, man. So, and this is your girlfriend?
My fiance,
Okay. What's her name?
Christina Lorraine Parcell. Son of a... You got a young daughter that's 9.
As EMS arrived, the deputy asked Brad if he knew of anybody who would want to harm Christina.
There's been a custody battle. This guy's been he's a threatener, he's a thug. I'm telling
He's
you,
a thug.
person of interest will be John Mello.
The person that Brad just
Damn,
mentioned,
Mello.
John Mello, is Christina's ex-husband. Apparently, Christina and John had been fighting for the permanent custody of their daughter, Aida.
Why the hell Christina like all old niggas? I mean, that's Christina's preference, I guess. What the hell? Oh, rest in peace, Christina. Old
And
niggas?
things had gotten ugly.
Tell me about this other dude.
John and Christina had started dating back in 2009, and Christina's family quickly noticed a change in her behavior. The next year, in 2010, she sent out this letter to her family. Dear Mommy, Daddy, and Tina, I'm severing the ties of discontent and unhappiness that have haunted my life. Please
Nagato?
leave me to my peace and my newfound life. Please do not visit my home. Do not call or email. And most importantly, please don't worry. She then cut off all contact with
Nigga,
her
I'm
family for
scared.
4 years. But in 2014, she suddenly got back in touch with her sister. She told her that she had just given birth to Aida and was in the process of divorcing John. Unfortunately, it was this divorce that ignited the difficult custody battle that Brad mentioned earlier. In
Alright.
court, Christina said that she was afraid of John having primary custody due to his short fuse and explosive anger. But John said the opposite. He insisted that Christina shouldn't have custody due to her erratic behavior, inconsistent presence, and inability to financially support Aida by herself. In 2016, the court made their decision. John gained sole custody of Aida, while Christina was limited to scheduled visitations. But the custody battle didn't end there. In the following months, John contacted the police and social services multiple times, accusing Christina of drug use and misconduct during these visitations. The Greenville
What?
County Sheriff's Office launched an investigation and found no evidence to support these claims. In an attempt to catch Christina in the act, John began following her. This backfired,
Nigga,
and he was
what?
charged and arrested for stalking. Even after being charged, his obsessive behavior continued, and in 2018, John was charged again, this time with harassment. However, both of these charges were ultimately dropped, likely a result of the accusations being hearsay. Things seemed to stabilize over the next 2 years. John remained as primary guardian of Aida, while Christina was entitled to weekend visitations. But suddenly, on October 7th, 2020, Christina received a distressing email from John. It read, "We are out of the country, phone not working. Be advised, we won't be able to fly back for Friday exchange. Sorry, more later."
Hey,
Over the
dead
next few
petty.
days, Christina did everything in her power to figure out where John had taken their daughter. She went to Aida's school, East North Street Academy, and learned that John had withdrawn her from the Greenville County school system.
Nigga,
So,
what?
she sent an email to John saying, "Please tell me anything you can about where our daughter is and how she is doing. I'm scared and I miss her so much. When am I going to be able to see her? Please." 3 days later, John responded saying, "I am not ignoring you, just super busy. Please do not bother people about us. She is doing great. She is happy and healthy. It's just a new setup. That's all, new rules. Thanks.
Yeah, that's cool and all, but nigga, can I see actual physical proof of my daughter? The fuck?
Stay
What?
well." While she continued looking for clues about their whereabouts,
Stay
John
well, it's
suddenly
crazy as
updated his
hell.
cover photo on Facebook. In the photo, a random woman had her arm around Aida, and they were posing in front of an old building. Christina zoomed in on a banner in the background and realized that it had Italian text on it. After doing some more
Them niggas in
digging, she
Italy.
found out that this building was in Rovigo, Italy. Christina contacted several agencies, incling the Greenville
This
County
gotta be
Sheriff's
illegal. I don't
Office,
care.
the FBI, and the U.S. State Department. They were able to confirm that
Well, then again, he does have custody. True. I'm sure you got visitation, but nigga, I can't get visitation if y'all is in Italy. Of course, gotta do something.
Aida was safe and well. But it was ultimately determined that John had violated Christina's visitation rights.
Clearly.
In May of 2021, Christina brought Aida back to South Carolina while John remained in Italy. 3 months later, in August of that same year, all of Christina's neighbors received envelopes in the mail. The envelopes contained several items suggesting that Christina was leading a double life as an escort, operating under the
What?
pseudonym Caroline Warren. Christina was certain that
Sweet Caroline. Bum, bum, bum. I'm sorry. I'm brainwashed.
John was responsible for this. However, he was still in Italy at the time, and the two locations printed on the envelopes were Greenville, South Carolina, and Knoxville, Tennessee. Perhaps the person who mailed these packages was the same person who brutally attacked Christina. While the deputies questioned Brad, the EMS confirmed that Christina had died. She hadn't been
Damn.
shot as Brad initially thought,
Rest in peace,
but had
Christina.
actually been stabbed dozens of times.
God damn.
Brad was then asked to provide a timeline of events leading up to the discovery of Christina's body.
And when was the last time you just spoke with her?
Hold on, I'll tell you exactly. Last time I talked to her was 8:15 a.m. Outgoing call, 10 minutes. She was on her way for a job interview.
After Christina went in for her interview, a couple of hours passed and Brad didn't get an update on how it went. He tried to call her, but she didn't answer. So he decided to go to her house to see if she was home.
Because normally when she leaves somewhere, she'll send me a text, I'm on my way back.
Right.
And I didn't hear from her. But at this
Right.
point, I'm getting worried about where we are. I really don't know if I want to comment more. I want to help you, but if this is what I think it is,
That's fine.
The deputies respected Brad's
What?
wishes and the questioning stopped there. But he remained on the suspect list while they continued their investigation. Lead detective Sergeant Jared Sparkman wanted to confirm Christina's timeline, so they began gathering surveillance footage
Gerard.
along her route that morning. At 8:34 a.m., Christina was captured entering the Valley Walk Animal Hospital to attend a vet technician job interview.
Ah.
The interview seemed to go smoothly and lasted about 10 minutes. Christina then left the clinic and headed home. At 9:07 a.m., she was captured arriving home by a Ring doorbell camera 3 doors down. The most crucial footage the detectives found was from the Ring camera directly across the street from Christina's house. At 9:15 a.m., the Ring camera is activated by a vehicle passing by. At that exact moment, a random person can be seen entering the front door of Christina's house. This
who's
door
that?
leads directly into the living room, where her body was discovered. From this footage, the detectives determined that the person entering the home was a white male with a slim stature, wearing a black bag, a gray sweatshirt, and black pants. With this description in mind, they continued searching around the neighborhood for more footage of the suspect. They were able to find footage of someone with the same build, on a bike, riding away from the scene at exactly 9:27 a.m. 12 minutes after the suspect entered Christina's house. In this footage, the individual was wearing a black sweatshirt, black pants, and a medical face mask. The suspect likely got blood all over their clothes while committing the crime. So although the biker was wearing a different sweatshirt than the person who entered the home, the detectives had a feeling that this was their guy. Then, 1 minute later, the same biker can be seen on another Ring camera. His slim stature is even more apparent. As the detectives got to know more about this mysterious suspect, they wondered if he was somehow connected to John. They discovered that John still had a property in Greenville County that somebody named Michael Manigault was employed to maintain. So they tracked down Michael and brought him in for questioning. They told him that they were looking into the death of Christina Parcell, and Michael responded by saying that his coworker told him all about her.
Tell me again how you heard about Christina. A mutual friend of me and John.
I don't know who that is.
He said about a week and a half ago.
Crazy as hell.
Christina had been farmed after that.
The man he's referring to is 28-year-old Zachary Hughes, an accomplished classical pianist. Back in 2021, right after Christina took Aida from Italy back to the United States, Zach went to Italy himself to visit John for 3 to 4 weeks.
What?
The two became closer than ever during this trip, and when Zach flew back to Greenville, he began helping with John's property maintenance.
How does Zachary get around? You said old truck or something. Yeah, old truck. He picked me up on
The detectives searched through South Carolina vehicle records and learned that Zach's truck was a gold Ford pickup. It turns out that on the day after Christina's death, an automatic license plate reader in downtown Greenville snapped a photo of Zach's gold truck. In the bed of the truck was the same black bike from the Ring camera footage. The detectives quickly obtained a search warrant for Zach's residence and went there with a team of deputies to execute it. When they arrived, they ordered Zach to come out with his hands up, and he calmly obliged.
Anybody else in the house? Yes, sir.
They escorted Zach to the back of a police cruiser, where he sat patiently while the search took place. Inside the home, they found a cardboard box containing a plethora of knives. Any one of these could have been the murder weapon, but every one of them was squeaky clean at this point. There was also a detached garage where they found the getaway bike in mint condition. Unfortunately, these two pieces of evidence alone didn't justify an arrest. So after taking a photo of Zach and collecting his phone and DNA, he was free to go. Getting into Zach's phone proved to be a difficult task because it had been locked with military-grade encryption software.
Ow.
They did eventually access it, but only partially. They were able to salvage bits and pieces of data, including 1,769 scrambled WhatsApp messages between him and John. In April of 2021, one text message from John to Zach said, "Harass shit of her 5-2. We can get the 864 out 3." Rearranged, the text provides Christina's phone number and says, "We can harass the shit out of her." The next message from John said, "Buy a cheap dollar store burner phone." The day before the killing, the two had a phone call that lasted over 2 hours. And the last text exchange they ever had was on the day Christina was killed. John texted Zach, "How did that music research go?" Zach replied, "Good, I'll tell you over the phone." The detectives believed that music research was code for killing Christina. Later that afternoon, John and Zach had a phone call for 1 hour and 20 minutes. As for Zach's DNA, the crime lab compared it to the DNA found under Christina's fingernails. It was a match. With this new evidence,
Well,
authorities rushed to
looks like he's
Zach's
cooked.
house once again to arrest him. Still in his fancy suit, they brought him down to the station and into the interrogation room for questioning. However, just as they were about to begin, Zach's defense attorney advised him not to speak to the detectives.
Right.
For now, he was taken to the Greenville County Detention Center and placed behind bars. He was charged with murder, possession of a weapon during the commission of a violent crime, harassment, conspiracy, and first-degree burglary.
Last year, I interviewed Zachary Hughes about a special Beethoven Sonata series he was working to perform. Now the Greenville County Sheriff says Hughes is behind bars for a brutal, violent murder.
But I think it was more than obvious that he intended to kill her. And he went over there for that reason. And talking about the murder itself.
I ain't gonna lie though. What's the motive here? Friendship? You took her out of the game because friendship, nigga? Like what? That don't make no damn sense.
It was very intentional, for sure. We don't know why. We don't know what his motive really was.
Zach's bond hearing took place
Break
on
it down.
April 6th, 2022. His friends and family claimed that he was truly a good person, and since he was innocent until proven guilty, bond should be granted.
Zach lived with us for over 2 years. We talked with him every day. He was recruited to teach online, providing musical teaching to underprivileged children. This is the character of the man that we're talking about here today.
Never have I ever seen any tendency to violence in my son. He was happy.
Nigga, can we not discount anything that his mom gonna say, nigga? What are we doing? That's his mama, nigga. She gonna lie for that man.
Joyful, energetic child, giving, tender-hearted, kind, patient. Zach doing something like this. Never any kind of hint of anything like this.
The efforts from Zach's loved ones were ineffective. The judge believed that Zach's DNA being under Christina's fingernails was
It's
enough
crazy.
to consider him a danger to the community.
I'm going to deny bond.
But he also could be getting framed. But I also don't see how that. We gonna see. You know what I'm saying?
Based on everything I've heard today. All right. Thank you very much.
Zach remained behind bars leading up to his trial, which began on February 11th, 2025. The prosecution
Damn, this shit was 3 months ago. Niggas June. Math. 4 months ago.
kicked things off with a 7-minute opening statement, saying that Zach had injected himself into the custody battle between Christina and his good friend John.
Which is
They
weird.
didn't explain much further because they believed that the evidence would speak for itself.
You're going to find beyond a reasonable doubt, and the evidence will show that Zach Hughes is a cold-blooded killer. And he committed murder, he committed harassment, and he committed burglary first. Thank you.
Typically, this is when the defense would present their opening statement. However, they decided to hold off until the prosecution rested their case, because they had something up their sleeve. The prosecution introduced several witnesses who were present at the scene, including medical examiner Claire Rose, who inspected Christina's injuries.
What jumped out at you as you
She
were
like shorty
going
from
through there to
Seinfeld.
mark of significance in your report and in your findings?
So I found that there were 35 sharp force injuries to Ms. Parcell.
They also brought Tina Parcell to the stand to describe the tumultuous custody battle between Christina and John, illustrating just how ugly things had gotten between them. Family law attorney Vanessa Cormelo, who represented Aida during the custody dispute, said she believed John would have done anything to keep Christina separated from Aida.
What findings did you make as to the lengths that Mr. Mello would go to get custody back of Aida?
He was very clear that there was nothing off limits. He was, like I said, threatening, harassing, intimidating, hundreds and hundreds of emails. This was the worst case I've ever worked on. I think in May of 2021, I brought a motion to the court asking for a psychological evaluation of him.
After 31 witness and expert testimonies, the prosecution rested their case. It was finally the defense's turn to present their opening statement, and they had some unexpected news for the jury.
Zach is going to testify because Zach has been waiting for this opportunity to tell a group of people like you what really happened, which is that he took the life of Christina Parcell. And crucially, he's been waiting and wanting to tell you why.
Bitch, what? To be continued the next, I'm bullshit, but like, what is he talking about?
So, what is murder? Murder is the killing of somebody with malice aforethought. And what is malice?
Oh, here
It
we
is
go.
the intentional doing of a wrongful act without
pull up
just
for a
cause
dictionary
or
section,
excuse.
gang.
And I want you to think about those words, that definition, as you listen to the testimony that you're about to hear in this.
And define bald spot. Bald spot is when there's nothing there. Not a damn thing, not a follicle growing anywhere in the vicinity of that hair. My bad.
In this case, you were going to hear that the why was not jealousy or greed or a crime of passion or some other emotion. You're going to hear that this was done for a just cause. And that's not malice, and that's not murder.
A just cause? What kind
During
of
Zach's testimony,
argument?
he admitted to sending out the parcels that implied Christina was an escort. He also described killing Christina in complete, chilling detail.
I laid my bike down in the driveway. I took a bunch of roses and I walked up to the door and I rang the doorbell. And I handed her the roses. And I took the revolver out of the box and I pointed it at her and I told her to be quiet and to go back into the house. When I went to strike her with the gun, my hand didn't really do what I was trying to tell it to. I was hesitating, and she began to try to fight back.
Oh, fight back.
And during this period of time, the roses had dropped and the petals and stems had scattered. So I
Why did you bring roses? I guess that was to get in the door.
pulled out the knife I was wearing. All I could do was try to overcome this resistance I had towards doing this thing. So I just kept striking her and striking her.
Man, what?
I don't remember how many times I struck her. I just remember
Enough?
that when it finished, we were on the ground. And I stopped striking her when she stopped struggling. I looked in a mirror before I left to make sure everything was in order, and I saw that she had scratched my face. And of course, I realized that this could leave DNA. So I used the paint thinner to try to clean her hands.
Wouldn't it have been easier to just cut her hands off? Let me stop.
I took off my outer shirt because there was blood on it, and I put it in the backpack. I believe that what I've done is the right thing, and I believe that I did it for the right reason.
Bitch, what? Like, gang, I know I was twisting my ear and shit, and it seemed like I wasn't listening, but bitch, I heard every word. What the f is he talking about? Is he trying to convince? There's no way anyone in the jury is gonna believe that you did this justifiably, or it was justified with you doing this. Like, I hope you start to get into the spiel right now, because there's no way. No. Man, hey, I'm talking about if it's a hung jury, any of that. Hold on, first and foremost, why is this about, why did the title say it's about Bruce? It has to be another shoe that's about to drop. Because there's no way this is the end of the video. I mean, it's 7 minutes left. What does Brad have to do with this? What is Brad's secret? Is this a misnomer? Did he write the wrong name?
Zach's reasoning for committing such a horrific crime stems all the way back to his childhood.
I don't say this lightly, but my oldest sister, Grace, was the most evil human being I've ever met in my life.
That says a lot coming from someone who took someone's life.
I would describe her without reservation as an affectionless psychopath. She was just an incredibly intelligent person and incredibly evil. And having met someone like that, it made me able to understand that people like this exist. If you trust them, you are only ever going to get hurt by them again.
Zach went on to explain that while hanging out with John told him about the custody battle and described the type of person that Christina was.
Point by point, everything he described about Christina Parcell was exactly the same as my sister Grace.
Both John and Zach were on the same page. Christina was a danger to Aida. John then asked Zach if he would kill Christina for $5,000. Zach immediately and unequivocally declined this offer, so John raised it to $10,000.
I told him the only way I would ever consider taking action like this is if I was absolutely convinced that his daughter was not only in danger, but that the only way to rescue her from that danger would be to take Christina Parcel's wife.
As the months passed, John kept Zach updated on the...
Man, what the is this nigga talking about, bro? So you telling me if you could prove that she's a danger to your daughter, I'll do it for free. Is what you're telling me? Hey, this nigga mind is twisted.
Custody dispute and how Aida was doing. Eventually, Zach learned a twisted secret behind Christina and Aida's relationship and felt that he had to do something about it. He first sent out the envelopes, but essentially nothing came of that. So he resorted to killing Christina.
As soon as I left the house, I felt the most enormous wave of relief wash over me because I knew from that moment on Aida would be safe.
Nah, G. Nah.
Aida would be safe from that her mother was perpetrating on her. And there is proof to that the state is hiding from you.
Instruct him to be quiet. Like, bro, please and thank you. Because ain't no... I'm like, bro, the fact that your lawyer even let these niggas get that bullshit. No, man, you know what? We don't know what's going on. We don't know what's going on.
This may seem like a baseless accusation, but there is some vital context that might make you think otherwise. At the beginning of this investigation, Brad allowed the detectives to search his phone so they could rule him out. What they ended up discovering was something they never would have expected.
CP?
The contents of Brad's phone indicated that he and Christina weren't just physically abusive, they were abusive in other ways as well. Brad received 7 charges related to these findings. Zach claims that he knew about Christina and Brad's dark secrets, and that he killed Christina in order to protect Aida. But it's important to note 2 things. The first is that the Greenville County Sheriff's Office found no evidence that Zach knew about these secrets before killing Christina, so they claimed that there was no way this could have been the motive. The second thing to note is that Brad is still awaiting trial for his charges, so his crimes are technically just allegations.
What?
This is why Zach was not allowed to reference them during his testimony, and why the jury was instructed not to consider Zach's comments. After Zach's unwelcome comments, the judge ruled to hold Zach in contempt and gave him 6 months jail time for his outbursts in court. They wrapped up for the day, and that same afternoon, John, who had come back to Greenville following Christina's death, was arrested at his home for soliciting Christina's murder. At his bond hearing, Tina had the opportunity to speak to John directly. The tone in her voice can be described with 2 words.
No, nigga, no, stop, stay awake, you fucking up. No, we gotta get back to Brad. Like, brother, you barely touched on it. What is it? 7 counts of what, CP? 7 counts of what? Of what?
Pure hatred.
You did this. No, nigga, Christina did this. Fuck. You see what you do when you say discovering Brad's horrifying secret, and you don't tell me shit about Brad's horrifying secret till it's 2 minutes left in the damn film, and now I'm like, what secret? What was he doing? Is Ida okay? Because at this point, nigga, everybody is weird. I'm just worried about the child. I don't give about none of these no more. As soon as he said something about all that went out the window, it all went out the window. What's going on?
To your family. Your child has to know that you did this.
Protecting her?
To her family.
You see what my
John
brain
was
goes?
initially denied bond, but a circuit court hearing was scheduled to determine whether he would be granted a bond or be held in jail until his trial. The next day, it was the
stage on that ass in Italy. Oh,
prosecution's turn to cross-examine Zach. They didn't want Zach to have another opportunity to say things that the jury wasn't supposed to hear, so they decided to ask Zach just one question.
Mr. Hughes, when you dragged Christina Parcell across the floor,
What were
of
you
the front
thinking?
room where you killed her.
Nigga, what?
Did you drag her by her arm or by her ankle?
Why the do that matter?
I don't remember for certain, but I think by the ankle.
That's all the questions I need to ask this, Your Honor.
During closing arguments, the prosecution
not.
claimed that Zach was lying to himself when
I'm
he
not
said
going.
his actions weren't malicious. The defense drilled in the notion that even though Zach admitted to killing Christina, that does not mean he is guilty of murder. They said that he had
technically
zero hate in his heart and only killed her as a last resort to save Aida.
Does a person who kills another person with the intent to save an innocent child have evil in their heart? I would suggest to you that your common sense would tell you no. And that
Low-key,
person
not really.
who killed another to save an innocent child is not a murderer. I would ask that you return a not guilty verdict. Thank you very much.
It was now time for jury deliberations.
Brother, he's getting hit with that guilty motherfucker. Ain't no way, bro. I'm telling you, bro. There's no way he gets out, bro. There's no. He's getting hit with that guilty. I don't care how good y'all think y'all spinning this. I ain't spinning this like a Beyblade, nigga. He's cooked.
After less than 3 hours, they had their verdict.
Get him out
As
of
to
here.
the charge of murder, we, the jury, find the defendant guilty.
He admitted to it.
Following the verdict, Zach seemed to hold back tears as his father gave an impact statement.
My son, he has such a strong...
Hold on. I just thought of something. Nigga, your mom was trying to get you bail. Your dad was there. Your dad giving an impact statement now. Is your sister rest in peace, gang? Because what you was talking about your sister in the case. I mean, when you was doing your confession, basically. And I'm just trying to figure out where's she at?
moral compass and a desire for the truth.
You just heard them niggas talk. You just heard your son admit to doing it, and that your daughter, the one you raised, with evil, and you rocking with this shit. Maybe she really was evil.
That sometimes he actually hurts himself. He would quote Edmund Burke on this. The only thing necessary for evil to prosper is for good men to do nothing. I love my son. I'm proud of my son. Thank you, Your Honor.
Zach was also given an opportunity to speak, but chose not to. The judge then handed down his sentence.
Zachary David Hughes, indictment for murder. You're to be committed to the State Department of Corrections for life.
Zachary Hughes is currently serving his sentence at the Kirkland Correctional Institution in South Carolina. John Mello is currently in custody and has not entered a formal plea to his charges.
Right.
And as for Bradley Post, he is currently being held at the Greenville County Detention Center, awaiting his trial.
Man, what the fuck? Now I gotta go find out what the fuck Bradley Post did. Cause ain't no fucking way. Alright, look. That's the end of the video. I'm confused. I'm not really conflicted. I don't know if Shorty is supposed to be with us here today. I can't tell. Cause I'm gonna keep it a stat. Depending on what crimes that they alleging that Brad did and she allowed, and I'm assuming it's some weird like Shorty from the other video. And she letting this nigga Stephen Stearns make a mixtape with her daughter, nigga. They watching Frozen in the bed together, nigga. Like, you having sleepovers with a teen and you a grown ass man, like, huh? That's what I'm assuming is going on. But I don't know, bro. This is inconclusive to me. Damn. A whole lot of malarkey going on in this month. Let's end on a lighter note, nigga. Let's go to Wayne Brand New, man. Y'all tripping this shit. No cap. What the?
Yeah.
Empire mixtapes, not for the weak-hearted.
Yep.
Holy shit. Where'd you find this?
Man, what happened to that nigga? Facts.
Yeah.
I ain't never said it was some brand new car, brand new, brand new, brand new. Put out the roach light a brand new L. Fuck you, bitch, Mac and brand new. Fuck you, bitch, my shirt brand new. Fuck you, bitch, my shoes brand new. Fuck you, bitch, I'm making brand new.
The Empire.
I'm cold. I was like at midnight and asking, I am the president and the assassin. Cameras on. Big lights, action. Welcome to the show. I am the main attraction.
Empire mixtapes. Not for the weak-hearted.
Money on my mind. Money is my habit. Stay on the grind until money automatic. Bitch, I love money. I'm a fucking fanatic.
The Empire.
Grip tight, grasp. Say what? Me, click, clack, blast on. Chrome 24's tires thin like napkins. Gotta ride big, cause I am like a captain. You know I'm a boss, chillin', relaxing. Probably in my office, doing my taxes. You little nigga so not in my bracket. I don't even have time to practice.
Mixtrap.com.
Huh?
Brand new car,
Brand new feet.
The Empire.
brand new seats, brand new smell.
Put out the roach light a brand new L.
Fuck you, bitch,
I'm acting brand new.
Fuck you, bitch, my shirt
Brand new.
Fuck you, bitch, my
My
shoes
shoes brand new.
Fuck you, bitch, I'm making
Brand new.
Worldwide exclusive.
Ridiculous price. Your camera has never saw a picture this nice. I'm fishing in the bitches real bright. It's probably cause my game is fixed and tight. Right. I'm fucking every bad bitch twice, and if she doesn't wear pants, then I'm on sight. I'm nasty like spice. I know what she likes. I can make a black woman scream like she white. I can make a white woman scream like Mike, but before she starts singing, she gotta check with my mic. It's just hating, and I done lost sight. It's like I don't see him, I only see the light.
Yeah.
Talking that shit, but you boys just hype. I hope you bring a gun
to the fight. Alright.
Louis V tennis shoes, big brown stripe. You think you fresh shit, nigga?
I'm right.
Riding around the city with some brand new heat. Brand new car,
Brand new feet.
brand new seats, brand new smell.
Put out the roach light a brand new L.
Fuck you, bitch,
I'm acting brand new.
Fuck you, bitch, my shirt
brand new.
Fuck you, bitch, my shoes
brand new.
Fuck you, bitch,
Bitch,
I'm
I'm
acting
acting
brand
brand
new.
new.
Okay, brand new coupe, driving crazy than the
Yeah,
others.
others.
Sitting low in the seats with the burner sitting under.
Uh-huh.
Tank top down.
That'll probably get
summer,
summer.
but I ride like that, cause I'm hotter than
Than
the
the
others.
others.
Damn, there's no keeping up with the brother, man. I can spell my name in burnt rubber. I'm gone. Leave me alone. Now the dog is at supper. You can wash my plate and put it back in the cupboard.
I'm so far ahead of you suckers. I'm gonna have to start rapping the numbers.
I promise the
Empire mixtapes.
you come rapping like
Thunder.
I bet you hide under your
The
covers.
covers.
Riding around the city
Man, what's wrong with this nigga? I'm so far ahead of these suckers. I'm gonna have to start rapping the numbers.
brand new.
That's all I need, bro. That like, brother. There's so many things you could have did with the Carter 6. That's the end of the video. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, share the video, share your thoughts on the video in the comment section below. Hit the notification bell so you can stay up to date when I drop videos on the channel. I'll catch y'all on the next one. Stay safe, y'all. God damn it, Tunji.
Baby, slide by to my